This is a limited edition Ritz cracker covered in fudge.
That's just what it says.
Hmm?
I'm sure they came out last year.
It was around last year for a limited time. And then
you just buy enough of them.
open here.
Nothing's really limited.
Unlimited. What you got over there?
White fudge covered Oreos. I am partial to the golden ones if I do partake in any. I haven't had a regular Oreo in quite some time.
Oreos are ice cream topping for me right now. If I have ice cream.
It looks like you've been eating a lot of ice cream.
Shut up.
But, just saying, man.
All right.
So, get it together.
This is a cookie that somebody brought for us.
It's a cracker.
Technically, this is a cracker. It's a chocolate-covered cracker.
Tiger Woods.
There's
anywhere.
He said it, not me.
Get this out of here.
So I'm gonna try this when you try the
white
chocolate-covered Oreo, and we're gonna see how it goes. So, Hakuna Matata.
So we got Tiger Woods and Brian Gumble.
All right. Down the hatchet. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Nice amount of crunch. With each chew, the white fudge melts more. Not bad.
I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these and not in a bad way. I can't have these around me. I can't have it around me. It's going away. It's going away, I said. I don't know where I'm going to put it.
I'm going to put them in his bag.
I don't know. Put it over here or something.
Put them in his gym bag.
Under, hiding. Grab me some water. Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness. That was delicious. That's that. Review it like Keith Lee.
Salty and the sweet.
I had a fudge covered Ritz cracker. I'm gonna rate it 1 through 10, and that saltiness and the fudge went together pretty good. I get it a 8.732448 out of 10.
Are you done?
I guess.
Why
do we adding all them decimals? I get an 8.5. Well, how does it get to an 8.7?
I mean, the barbecue sauce might have been hitting, but not 9 hitting. So it's better than 5. Yeah. 7's better than 5, but not too much better.
All right, good.
So you're good,
but not great.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
Can we start the show now?
We can start the show.
Right. Welcome.
No,
go ahead. We got it.
Go ahead, man. No,
sure?
It's like
I think you want.
No, go ahead, man.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Go ahead. Welcome to.
If you got it, go ahead. Man. Welcome to another wonderful episode of We Should Have Been Done This, the podcast. I am Shaun Manning.
And I am Jason Jamerson.
Oh, okay. So,
in post, I'm going to edit something in there in post. It's going to make it look like something happened.
Wonderful. I have a lot of shows.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of shows on television.
There's a lot of shows that came back out.
Yeah.
Seasons 2s and fews and whatnot.
I've been finishing Billions. I have to, because one of my clients, Jeff, I need to watch True Detective, just season 1. But I got caught up in that Gen V.
Yeah, I was watching that too.
It's a solid watch. You can't watch it with your children.
Not at all.
But it's definitely a solid watch. A nice introductory season. You understand all the characters. And then I love it to where you still get some of the people from the big show to come down and make appearances, unlike what they do at the CW. You never get anybody, in the higher tiers.
I like it because it immediately intertwines with the boys.
Immediately.
Like, it's not like, there's a little stuff over here that, it's those two shows are running side by side.
Should be. And these other companies should take note. Like, they should run congruent. Thank you. With one another.
Yeah.
Why would they be 18 separate universes. No, it's all one.
Yeah,
so that way, as an audience member,
it's less
you
confusing.
engage and less confusing.
It's less confusing. So it's like, oh no, because they haven't did this. Like, as much as I like all the Star Wars shows on Disney Plus, me trying to piece the timeline together with some of the stuff happens, it'd be a lot. I'm like, wait a minute, so that happened.
But that's because they started 30 years ago.
Yeah,
so.
and then we're doing old stuff
new
now,
stuff, right?
But like stuff that happened further in the past now, but all the old stuff has already happened.
Yeah, so you know how it ends.
Yeah,
but then they're trying to tell you how it began.
Yeah,
but now depending on the show, now we don't know how it ends because
right.
It's a lot.
And they're gonna put out 3 more Star Wars movies. Where they're gonna mislead us on the posters.
Or at some point you'll get an interview from George Lucas saying, studio-wise, they couldn't let me do what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. And then you come to find out that Lando Calrissian ran everything.
Oh, right.
You never know.
He was really the real
he does have a particular palate for the chocolate. I'm just saying, the man does have a.
Well, since we on the topic of movies and stuff, because there's a handful of things I want to talk about. I usually don't come in here with no topics. There's a handful of things I want to talk about. One of the main things I want to talk about.
We can't have them folded at the same time. So I'm
right. We just the Grumpy Old Men podcast, the Grumpy Young Men podcast, the Stereotypical Trainer podcast.
Yes,
That's what you look like.
I'm gonna put my hands in my lap.
Well, I've been watching.
What are you doing?
It's a tactic. You ever
no.
You ever do sales before?
Yes, I have.
It's a tactic called mirroring.
No, I don't need you
it's
to
called the mirror tactic.
No,
you just it makes people more comfortable.
I'm beyond comfortable. What's making me uncomfortable
exactly.
is you
like
mirroring
so
me. No, I'm gonna sit like this. Then. Okay. All right, yeah. So go ahead now. Movies. That's what you were saying?
It's funny because my laddie is sore over here.
Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. No. There you go. That's how you sit.
I'm gonna sit like this.
There you go.
I guarantee you won't get like this at any point.
No, not at all.
You're gonna mess around and stretch. Watch.
Not at all. No, I'm not. Movies.
So I've been paying attention to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right?
Which people say is going down.
Oh, it has been going down.
Is it?
I think so. When they get to the point where they talking about
you gotta put your hands down. I don't know where, but you gotta put your hands down because it's just awkward that your hands are just up.
Is this better?
See how long them shoulders will last? That's fine.
I ain't do shoulders yet this week, so you ever try plyometrics?
Yes, of course. But the MCU. Sorry,
I'm not about to do that. It's just not comfortable.
I bet.
But yeah, no, I think ever since Endgame, it has been in disarray. There's a lot of they did a lot of fan service on some stuff, but like if you watched a lot of the things for a second time, is not what it was we saw in the theaters. Like Shang-Chi was cool in theaters. Is a much less engaging watch the second time. Far From Home was cool in theaters, but once again, I was like a whole bunch of fan service.
Right.
Watch it again, it's like Green Goblin, last scene. Everything else, it was just hard for me. With that one, my biggest gripe was the fact that he created his own problem. Like he didn't have to.
He did.
He didn't have to do all that stuff. That movie could have been over with.
He did.
Like way sooner. And a lot of people didn't have to die.
Are we? Is it because we're getting older and have more things to do? Because for me, because I do agree in part with what you were saying. For me, it was how many times I wanted to rewatch it.
Mm-hmm.
The Dark Knight Returns. That's the Joker one, right?
The Dark Knight is the Joker one.
Right, The Dark Knight. I think me and Marcus, I'm not even sure how many times I saw it in the theaters because it was just from a cinematography standpoint, from the story, it was just beyond enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Winter Soldier, I've watched a couple times at home. Again, great movie.
I watched it at least 2-3 times.
Yeah, even the first Avengers, but that was just nostalgia and excitement. But to your point,
that is one of the movies that gets me
Yeah.
like giddy like a child.
Yeah.
Whenever that original Ninja Turtles,
Yeah.
stuff started rising.
Yeah.
Like,
but I think Endgame after that, I don't think I've watched. Like I to show the family Black Panther. I think I watched it like twice, but I haven't even.
Yeah, well, we've talked about this and how we our views on Black Panther.
Well, no, that's a conversation for another day. I'm just
saying
that is a conversation. I'm just saying, Marvel wise, I didn't think about them going down until I thought like I haven't wanted to rewatch a movie that they've put out since Endgame.
All right, my daughter likes Captain Marvel for whatever reason, but technically that was before Endgame.
Remember, she's a woman.
Yeah, but it was also before Endgame. So
true.
And then the show, even the show was like, a lot of the shows could have been 3 episodes long and made the same impact that 8 episodes did.
I enjoyed Loki first season.
I
haven't watched the second one. I haven't started the second, but I enjoyed Loki.
So I enjoyed it off of the standpoint of I know where they were going with it, but they were like, for the season to be only 8 episodes, I feel like there shouldn't be no fluff episodes if it's only 8 episodes long. Like, I get when there was like the old network television schedule where it's like 24 episodes. Right. You're not gonna have 24 straight episodes of fire.
True.
You're gonna have some filler episodes, some side missions or whatever.
Right.
You can't afford no side mission on an 8 episode season.
Carry on.
You a little teapot now.
Carry on.
But yeah, no, you can't afford no side missions in an 8 episode season. And outside, to me, the only show that didn't have one of them was Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because the first Loki had like, I'd say 2 episodes. WandaVision had 2 episodes.
But Falcon had like it was an escort mission in there.
Which one?
When they got the thing of what's the name dancing? What's his name? The purple mask.
Zemo.
Yeah. It was an escort.
I mean, it wasn't the best. I mean, it led to something though. It was something.
It did, but it was.
It's like my biggest issue with this season of Loki, and I'm for sure about to spoil it for you.
I haven't started.
No, but no, like it's the first episode that picks up right where they left off. Second episode maybe has no. Second episode is kind of them just chasing their tail.
Okay.
Third episode and fourth episode, I think were cool, and then this 5th episode was them chasing their tail again. So I'm just like. Yeah, but even the projects that are coming out, like they didn't scrapped a whole lot of stuff, and not scrapped, but like redid everything.
Blade all over the place.
Well, Blade, my man said he was about to leave.
I mean,
they was about to make him the 4th lead of a film with his name on it.
That's what they did to Wesley.
He said, "That's 4 Urkels."
But that's what they did to Wesley. They brought in like Whistler. Even from the beginning, Whistler didn't exist, so he needed this, white savior. Like it's Blade, and then I thought Whistler was canon, only to find out he was not. So I'm like, it's the director's name slips my mind, but I don't like him for what he did to the Batman movies. But they bring him in, and then by the 3rd film, it's about his children. Like, this man shouldn't even be here.
Yeah,
his children, and now here they are. It's a show called Blade. Or a movie, was it?
And they were going to make
a movie or show.
This is about to be a movie.
So in a movie, and in the movie,
he's going to be the 4th lead.
Like, how does that even make sense?
And the other 3 above him were going to be women.
See, then there's that agenda. Again, we have to touch on those. That's a lot.
There's
certain people just let me have what's mine. Like, Blade is a man. Let me have that.
Oh yeah.
By all means, do stuff to include everybody. Do stuff solely for the women. We've got the Marvels. We have
that's
the young blind lady. No, she's not blind. She's deaf.
You talking about Kate Bishop?
No, she was in the same show.
Oh, not is it?
Echo.
Yeah.
That's on the way. Like, I don't want that. I don't want a bunch of male characters in there, minus like Kingpin and Daredevil. Like, let it do, but don't.
Yeah,
that's why it's going down here.
I always felt like
they're trying to make everybody happy,
and you can't be everywhere.
When they had this phase, whatever, and they were dead set on this is what it was going to be. We got quality films for the most part.
For the most part, they stuck to the comic books,
and now they're trying to make everybody happy, and now we have anarchy in these movies.
Yeah, because I feel like they're doing too much.
Because they are. I told you once I seen Taika, what's his name?
Taika,
the guy that directed Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Once I saw his production name, because in all the other movies, either it wasn't there or it was just in regular font, in regular print. But in that last Thor, no, I'm sorry, not Ragnarok. I like Ragnarok. And Love and Thunder.
I mean, he directed both of them.
Well, yeah. Well, see, but that's what happens. You know, you do well, you get the bag, and now you got the big britches. Your head get huge. You be in a couple more films. You direct more films from the success of Ragnarok, and then here comes the ego, and then now Kevin Feige Productions. Like, wait a minute, everybody was the same font, same letterhead. You know, exec. Kevin Feige, what's that guy's name again? Taiki
Waititi.
And then his popped up, and I said, this movie's gonna be trash, and it was, because now we've lost focus of what the goal is, the fans.
I mean, there's that, and they've lost focus because up until I haven't moved, so
I don't know.
It's on you now. But they up until recently they had to go on stage and tell people this is where we're going, guys. Just hold on, because we're getting the Secret Wars and all this stuff. And it was like, all right, you're taking too long. Like, we knew out the gate. We didn't necessarily know that Thanos was the big bad, but we knew out the gate after Iron Man, the Avengers are coming.
For sure.
I didn't know who the bad guy was, but I knew the Avengers. Now, I was watching a video on TikTok. There's a dude on TikTok named Straw Hat Goofy, and he was making a video about the demise, well, not the demise, but the downfall of the MCU right now. Mm-hmm. He said the one thing that they did not factor in when everything was building up that is not happening right now is they got lucky. There's a lot of characters, a lot of movies that they, like, the whole reason they have those characters to make movies with is because they weren't the popular characters that the other movie studios wanted to buy.
Right, but now they got everybody.
But now they got everybody now, but that's because they made the characters that weren't as popular,
like Iron Man, Scarlett Johansson, all of them.
Like, yeah, she's Scarlett Johansson, not even Black Widow.
Right,
that's how popular she was.
Right.
Captain America,
Black Widow,
Ant-Man,
Captain. Yeah, I mean, because Chris Evans, that shot him.
Yeah, I knew nothing about Guardians of the Galaxy until the movie.
Because nobody cared.
Nobody cared. And they got lucky and made a movie, because I wasn't going to go see it. I didn't want to see it, the first Ant-Man until I can't remember who saw it and said.
I enjoy them, so I'll always support for the
most part. Once I saw that everything was tying together, I was like, all right, I'm going to watch it to see how it ties in, whether I know about them or not.
For sure.
But I had no intention of seeing Guardians of the Galaxy, the first Guardians of the Galaxy, until everybody was talking about how good it was. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should go see it.
Yeah, and then the musical, the soundtrack didn't he definitely brought us all in.
Man.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that movie to be as good as it was.
Was it Michael Pena?
Yeah,
right. And then him having his
and T.I.
Yeah, him telling the stories.
Yeah,
and then you doing the voiceover like it was something we hadn't seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there was that one, and then but like even with that, it was like they got lucky because you come out with Ant-Man 2. Expectations here, because you know what, the first one wasn't that bad. Ant-Man 2 was
it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, but it came out right at as things were peaking going towards Thanos. So it was like I gotta watch it now.
Yeah.
But now that they got to restart everything with, and now I will say I don't know how much of this downfall is because of Chadwick Boseman passing, because to my knowledge, from what I was reading, a lot of it was supposed to be centered around Black Panther. Like,
I'm here. I've always been here.
But I mean, you got.
I've always been here.
That's the problem. You're here.
They got Meek Mill legs out there running the show. I'm always here.
You're here. You need to be in Atlanta where they filming the doggone movie.
Well, listen, I'm just saying, man.
But yeah, no. If he was supposed to be like the central part of the next phase, and he passes, and they decide not to recast him,
and carry on like they did Christopher Reeve.
They could. Technically, it took them forever to recast.
That's because it was Brandon Routh. That wasn't that long
between.
No, that was
the last Superman,
right? But that had nothing to do with him falling off of that horse. That was just them dragging their feet. They did recast.
It took forever.
But it had already taken forever.
They also weren't connect. They didn't have a connected universe that they were trying to build either.
Depending on who you ask, they still don't. You know what I mean? I mean, they don't.
But yeah, no, they if you
recast.
I agree.
Keep it
I agree. They should have recast it because there was too many T'Challa stories that needed to be told.
Exactly.
Before they passed it off to Shuri.
And it was one film. Respectfully, it was one film. Is all I'll say. Let's recast. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he had one movie. He was in 4.
Okay. Well, let's keep it moving.
Was it 4?
Recast and keep it moving.
Listen, I wholeheartly agree. Especially if this character is supposed to be that intricate to this next phase of the storyline.
Even in the books, there's multiples. You know, they got them with the frogs, and one has the aneurysm, and then he passes on, and then the other one. Kerry, you've got to keep it, no matter what. You got to strut. You got to strut.
But no, even outside of that, just the fact that T'Challa had so many stories to be told from just a book. Like you said, one movie. He fought Michael B. Jordan.
Fought his cousin.
And
couldn't kill Claude, but could kill his cousin. Listen, this isn't the time for this conversation. Because I can't help but lean into it. I don't want
to chill, Mac, chill.
I don't even want to.
Don't do it, bloodbath. No, so I'm just saying that they should have had a lot more stories, especially they were saying he was supposed to be like the Tony Stark of the next phase. As far as
is the Tony,
I said the next phase. I'm talking about in the cinematic universe. Calm down. Easy.
We have to move on to sports. just move on over. I mean, please get your point, and then after that, we just got to get away.
No, my point was they should have recast it.
Yes,
and I was saying that I wasn't like this downfall of them not recasting. If he was that intricate of a player in this next phase, that is probably part of the downfall as well. Because if they had just recast it and was like, all right, this is the story we were going to tell, let's continue telling it. If
you recast and whoever they get does...
They recast War Machine.
Wow. Whoever they get does look the part aesthetically and everything else, and it is what T'Challa is supposed to be, nobody will think twice about it. Like maybe some of the cast might, but again, it's business. Mm-hmm. And then we just move on to the next project and on, and then before you know it, that'll be it. And like nobody, I can't go see it because it was one movie.
Yeah, and once they see the trailer, they go see it. Wasn't nobody gonna boycott it? Nobody was even thinking about don't recast it until people were asking the question.
Yeah, they hitting that African music, and he come out proper chested and looks like a king of Wakanda and standing on top of Bast. You know, they got the statue of Bast, and he on top of the Panther God. And they say 2025, people are buying tickets like it was a Matt Rife show. Okay, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. That's all it takes.
You know, naturally, people are gonna walk in and have their little criticisms just because.
Until they see the chocolate God on the screen, this guy, and then after that, nobody cares. And then and then it's got it in the lungs, and then he has the voice, then he has the accent. My king, is that you?
I'm starting to regret actually finishing my point.
I tried to tell you. Let's move on.
So I tried to warn you. This is gonna happen.
There's few sensitive spots for me, but this Black Panther. Go ahead. I'm there.
Well, let's go sports. Let's go sports.
So we're going to sports.
Yeah, we're going to sports.
The Eagles are doing well.
The Eagles are doing well.
The Ravens are doing well too.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to revisit for my top 5. I'm going to edit that in post.
Okay.
I really hope we have some stuff to edit that in post. Otherwise, I'm just going to look stupid.
You can find something, I'm sure.
No, I'm sure. Top 5 in power rankings.
Now, all right, I would say at this point, if we revert back to what we said last week, you can hear Jason's power rankings. But we do have that footage. So we could just briefly go back to that, or you could put that in there and then go back. So we would just go ahead.
All right. So at number 1,
I
got the Eagles.
Yeah,
I mean you can't record-wise, you just can't.
Correct.
You can't say
49ers had a bye too?
49ers did have a bye.
Wow. So the Lions had a bye.
49ers
had a bye. Wow. Okay. All right. So now the 49ers are in first in their division. because of the Seahawks loss.
Yes.
To the Ravens.
Which brings me to my next.
Oh, well, please do.
Number 2. I got the Lions.
Oh, number 3. Get out of here. The Lions. Go ahead.
Number 3, I got the Ravens.
Okay.
Number 3, I got the Ravens. Number 4, listen, you question me when I finish the 5.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just waiting.
Number 4, I got the Niners. Number 5, I got the Chiefs. Now, why do I have the Niners at number 4? I'm glad you asked, Shaun.
Not the Dolphins?
Because the Dolphins just lost in Germany. See,
listen,
I didn't want to buy into it.
It's
but
overseas.
The Dolphins can't beat good teams.
It doesn't count overseas.
Apparently it does. And they got Jalen Ramsey back.
It doesn't count.
They still lost.
Who did they play in Germany?
They played the Chiefs.
They lost that game?
They lost that game because Tua fumbled the ball. Tua, I think, had like 3 turnovers, and he fumbled the final snap and just had to fall on it on 4th down.
But they still got so they got the same record as the 49ers did.
They have the same record as the 49ers.
Okay.
The only difference to me, once again, the last 2 losses the 49ers had, they had no Deebo Samuel.
Okay.
And over the bye week, or at the trade deadline, they got better with getting another edge rusher with Chase Young.
They did.
So this is why I put them at number 4. I put the Chiefs at number 5 because, yes, they've won every game except for the game against the Lions. They have not been looking great doing it.
Won every game.
I'm sorry, the Lions and the
Steelers.
The Steelers. No, was it Steelers?
No, the Broncos.
The Broncos.
They lost to the Broncos.
The Lions and the Broncos, which yet another reason why they're number 5. They have not looked good winning any game that they've won, except for maybe like 1 or 2.
They have not. Yeah, so, the game he threw for 3 or 4.
Yeah. Other than that, they have not. They did just get Mecole Hardman back, which was actually part of the reason why the game was so close. Cause I think he fumbled a pass or something like that. But even though he's not like a game changer, so to speak, but he had played with Mahomes for so long before that the chemistry is just there. He can go to him. Kind of like how Josh Reynolds is with Jared Goff. He's not getting a bunch of yards, but the chemistry is there. So when he needs like that first down, or whatever, it's either going to Josh Reynolds or St. Brown.
For sure.
Right. So that's why I got them at number 5 and number 4. Reason why I got the Ravens at number 3.
Please tell me.
Instead of number 2 is because, once again,
you're a Lions lover.
And they beat a hobbled Lions. The Lions weren't at full strength.
They beat the teams that beat the Lions, including the Lions.
But they didn't beat them at full strength. The teams that beat the Lions didn't beat the Lions at full strength.
Lions lost to Seattle.
Do you know,
Ravens
fun fact, this Sunday is going to be the first time since week 1 the Lions had their actual offensive line playing. The entire offensive line.
So you're saying this Sunday should be a lock then?
This Sunday is a lock.
A lock.
A lock. They're beating the Chargers.
What's the score?
It'll probably be a low-scoring game.
Well, how many touchdowns will Eckler score? So who are you more worried about? Are you worried about the receivers, so Keenan Allen and those boys, or are you worried about Austin Eckler?
Receivers, of course.
So you think the Lions have only one touchdown?
The Lions have only allowed 1 rushing touchdown all season.
So are you saying he's not going to score? For those FanDuel and DraftKings people out there,
he going to score like maybe a short swing pass or something like that.
So unless
they are literally on the 1 yard line, that's the only way that's happening. But that would have to be one of them. He got pushed out of bounds at the 1 yard line after catching a 20-something yard pass. Because that's my biggest issue with the Lions. It's not their secondary. It's actually the pass rush. If they can get pressure on Justin Herbert, it's going to be a problem for Justin Herbert. Okay. But if they can't get pressure, Herbert is too accurate. The throws that Garoppolo was missing in the Monday night game. Some of them throws. Oh my God, just throwing it. Yeah. But the throws he was missing on Monday night, those aren't throws that Justin Herbert gonna miss with the kind of time that he had
with Khalil Mack and can't remember the other fella's name on defensive. There's another guy. Bosa. There's another guy.
Derwin James.
There we go.
The safety.
Is he playing?
Yeah. Okay.
How was their defense in comparison to the Lions' offense?
So, once again, this is where the chess matches. I don't even want to call it a chess match. On their defense, their strongest point is their defensive line. The pass rush.
Uh-huh.
But on offense, the Lions' biggest, their most elite group is their offensive line, being that it's 100% healthy. Be honest, it's Taylor Decker who's going to have the problem, or not the problem. He's going to be the key point over there getting Joey Bosa or whoever's going to be on his side. Because Sewell still has not allowed a sack. I think he's only allowed 3 pressures all season or something like that, 7 pressures. And he has not missed a game or an offensive snap all season. So Sewell over there taking care of business. Taylor Decker, who has been playing through injury, or he has had ankle injury, he can let some people slide through. So,
Khalil Mack ain't somebody want to let slide through.
It is not.
And neither is young Bosa.
However, as well as Jahmyr Gibbs has been playing, David Montgomery is also coming back on Sunday too. So you can come across the edge, but we're going straight up the middle on you. You know, you got to chase your tail.
What can they stop Keenan Allen? Because he seems to be, he's always very resourceful and getting his targets, getting his receptions.
So once again, the Lions secondary is predicated on the Lions pass rush. Like, for instance, when almost every game that the Lions have played, they have been able to win because of the ones that they won. They won because they got pressure on the quarterback. Quarterback made a mistake. Now, granted, there were some that were younger quarterbacks that, you know, were going to make mistakes. But when they played Seattle, the reason why Seattle put up so many points is because they could not get pressure on Geno Smith. Geno Smith was back there rocking babies to sleep.
The Baltimore
and then
got pressure on Geno Smith.
But yeah, Baltimore also has the best defense in the league.
Oh, do they now?
They do. They got freaking Roquan Smith. What's his name? Patrick Queen. They have, like, statistically, and they passed the eye test.
And you got them at rank 3.
Yeah.
You got them at 3.
Yeah. Because you know what they didn't do? They didn't beat a Lions team at full health.
They smacked them by 30 or 27.
When your offensive line is hurt, of course people are going to get through. You're playing with your second, third string offensive lineman.
What's it got to do with defense?
The defense is the reason why. Oh, wait, no, because Jerry Jacobs was hurt. We brought that up, too. Jerry Jacobs was hurt. And like I said, they couldn't get pressure on Lamar. But, no, actually, no. What I told you was they had a game plan. That was just the wrong game plan.
That is what you said.
It wasn't the fact that they played bad. They executed their game plan
so the team
to perfection.
That blew the Lions out and blew the team out who beat on the Lions as well.
They beat on the Lions. They beat the Lions in overtime
after
David Montgomery got hurt taking out the game and C.J. Gardner-Johnson got hurt taking out the game.
Still a loss. So they smacked Seattle. They smacked Seattle. They smacked the Lions. And you have them behind the Lions.
I do.
There's no favoritism at all? There's no homer?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Who said there wasn't?
Okay.
The only reason I don't got them at number 1 is because they don't got the same record. If they had the same record as the Eagles, I'd say they're number 1. Okay. But, I mean, you know.
And then early on in our season, we did discuss Jalen Hurts making the mistakes, and that was why I had the 49ers over. But then since that conversation, Debo has went down. McCaffrey has went down. Brock Purdy has thrown 5 or 4 unusual interceptions. And in that time, the Eagles have not lost. And Jalen has seemed to have, for the most part, got himself, back zoned and locked in. And is, making the right reads, making the right throws. So obviously there's no debate in them being number 1, especially seeing as they have the best record in the league.
Got the best record
as
well. And they're playing most games. They're playing like it.
And that Cowboys team, regardless of how you feel. Now, do I ever think they're a Super Bowl contender? No, in regards to the Cowboys. But still a good team. I mean, CD did do
until they have a different quarterback.
Oh, well, okay.
I never give them.
This wasn't on Dak though. The running game didn't do anything. This wasn't on Dak. I think it was more so on the defense.
It's on the fact that they're the Cowboys.
Well, okay. Well, I could say that about the Lions.
You could, but you'd be wrong.
No.
You would be wrong
until they win.
They've been
in
winning.
all, I can't be wrong.
No, well,
One
just wait.
playoff win doesn't wipe out 30, 40 years
Well,
of
just
mediocrity.
wait till we
But
make it to the playoffs,
what
to the
does
Super
wipe it
Bowl
out?
this year.
Now that does wipe it out. That's a clean slate.
Yeah, just wait till we make it to the Super
None
Bowl
of them
this year.
men will ever have to worry about buying a drink in this town again.
Ever.
If they
Ever.
To be honest, as much as I would, wish them all the success in the world, I'm not even sure I'd even want to be in this state for such anarchy.
Oh, I will be. Y'all gonna see me hanging off the Barry Sanders statue.
According to the AI, they're gonna be in that Detroit River or wherever that is with a lion in there setting the water on fire. It's gonna be.
We going to the zoo and letting all the lions loose.
It's gonna
boy, let me tell you,
frail. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, they've been
in captivity.
They've been eating coney all this time.
Oh.
They feed them chili cheese fries. That's why I be sitting there just laying down.
But so the Eagles, without question, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Who was the other guy? The young was it Gainwell? The other running back.
Gainwell,
yeah, he's
DeAndre
seems
Swift.
to be taking some of Swift's touches, but it is what it is. The tight end,
Goddard.
Yeah, tight ends balling.
Defense
the defense doing what
they
they're supposed
got
to
better
do.
at the trade deadline.
Yeah, they got a guy from the city on there. What's his name? Brandon Graham, right?
Yeah.
So man. Yeah. But Lions at 2. Okay.
The Lions at 2. Now, I did have 2 non-Lions related topics I want to talk about.
By all means.
One was the Raiders firing.
As they should have.
They should have. Now, did you read the report about the meeting that they had prior to?
No.
So, prior to the Monday night game against the Lions, they said, we just going to have to be like this for the moment. Because I'm
carry on.
So they said that the Raiders, the team had like a whole thing where they had a meeting where they just aired out their frustration, all the star players, the coaches and everything, right? So Josh McDaniels, they said he was just sitting there.
All
the star players, the staff.
The white black guy and Devontae, who was the star players?
Josh Jacobs.
Who?
Josh Jacobs.
Who?
I mean, they paid him like a star player.
Well, they do.
Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, Max Crosby.
That's the black white guy. He had an interview the other day. I definitely thought.
I mean, he's from here, so
he's definitely thought he's about to say it. I definitely thought he's about to say it because I don't think he's faking it because you can tell that he's
from the city.
Yeah, you can tell. He's who Travis Kelce thinks he is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Before Taylor Swift.
He got the cop stash.
Yeah, he is who. Yeah. Oh, but go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So they had this meeting, right? Now
pick a position.
I talk with my hands a lot.
Okay.
That this natural wrestling trainer position. That's what this is. This wrestling trainer pose. RTP, wrestling trainer pose. Yeah. So they had. Now you just look like a ventriloquist dummy. But
if I continue to stay still, they won't see me.
Yeah, that's not how it works. So they had this meeting, and they said Josh McDaniels is just sitting there, like you can see, just like this. They're begging him to change the way he's calling games and whatnot, the game plans and everything, and he's just sitting there defeated. And Josh McDaniels asked Antonio Pierce, who is now the interim head coach
from the Giants.
Yeah. So he asked him to speak on his behalf. And he's just like, yeah, we got to win. We got to we got to go in every game and feel like we can beat anybody. And I'm paraphrasing because I couldn't find the article on the phone. And he was like, we got to feel like, I also was not there. But he was like, yeah, we need to just go in. Like when we was playing against the Patriots in the Super Bowl, we didn't care who they were. We just felt like we could win. It didn't matter what our record was, blah, blah. Team getting riled up. They feel like, yeah. And I'm pretty sure this is what led to Josh McDaniels firing. Josh McDaniels says, don't ever talk about the Patriots that way again. That's what he tells Antonio Pierce, who he asked to speak on his behalf. He had the players behind him to fire the player. They all rah, let's go, let's do this.
In front of everybody.
In front of everybody. Said, don't ever talk about the Patriots that way again.
But
then the energy just went right back down.
But they did beat the Patriots.
Yes.
Now again,
but, Josh McDaniels was
I'm aware
at that time.
But the team that he was on did in fact, was he there for both years of Eli?
Was he there for both years?
Where else was he?
I know he was talking about the 07 team is what he was specifically talking about.
Is that the Plaxico team? Or is that because the Plaxico team is the same team with the helmet catch. The other one was, who was that? When Welker what's it? Welker?
Wes Welker.
Thank you. When he couldn't, he's supposed to run the go route and stop short. But I mean, what was the? I know that game was close. But that was
that was the Flaxico team.
But that was Justin Tuck and Pierre Paul and all them boys, right? Okay.
I think that was Strahan.
No, Strahan was the helmet.
That was in 2017?
Man, that's a good question. When did Plaxico shoot it? I'm trying to figure out how to even date it.
Plaxico shoot it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to even date it in my head. Because there was when Pierce, I think Tuck and Pierre Paul and them beat him. And then there was the Strahan year. Dang.
At any rate,
he was there.
He was there.
But who better to discuss it than someone who did it and to rile up the troops?
He was sitting there like, don't you ever talk about the pictures that way.
Oh yeah, you got to go.
And after that, the Lions, because that was before the Monday night game.
Oh, okay.
So they played the Lions on Monday night because they were talking about the meeting prior to that Monday night game.
So they had the meeting. This is a meeting before this game.
Before the game.
Oh, I thought this was the ousting meeting. Okay.
No.
Okay.
They had this meeting before the game. The details didn't come out till after he got fired.
Yeah.
But before the game, the narrative was they had this meeting to clear the air and they should be good. Then they said the Lions had that loss last week and, there's two teams that are, whatever. Not knowing that meeting did not, in fact, clear any air.
It made things worse.
It made things worse. And then, regardless of what the score looked like, that game was nowhere. At no point did it look like the Raiders had a chance to come back and win that game. And so
against the Lions.
No,
I don't think they did now, depending on whichever Jared Goff get. That's a different thing.
But just offensively, watching the game, it's just like there's
not at all.
Like
it shouldn't have been that close.
It shouldn't have been. If it wasn't for that pick six, they wouldn't have scored a touchdown at all. And but yeah, so they so now my man's is the interim head coach, Antonio Pierce, interim head coach.
I think he's got it.
Well, they said that he can. This isn't just him to the end of the season. They said this is legitimately a trial run for him to get the main coach job.
His first game was a win.
It was a win.
He does have,
and the defense is who showed up in that.
Well, they like him.
Yeah, and he does play that good,
and he does have Coughlin behind him. I mean, not Coughlin behind him, but he had a good coach in Tom Coughlin, who,
he's getting the players like he got practice squad players on the sideline at the game.
I mean, but who would you rather play for? Somebody who did it, or somebody who got credit for being around great people? And then when this person who kind of, winning by default of two other people, when he says, "Don't you speak on in front of the troops?"
Yeah, you'd have seen Brady yell at him and throw tablets in his direction many a time.
And I'm sure of all people, Tom Brady wouldn't have had no issues with Antonio Pierce saying what was true.
Yeah,
because that's what you're supposed to say to galvanize the troops.
Tom Brady is the one he'll admit every time. What did he say to Peyton Manning? He said something about like I hate your mom because if it wasn't for her, y'all two the only reason I don't have more rings. Like so. Yeah, I blame. He said, "I blame your mom because y'all two Manning boys are the only reason I don't have more rings."
It's true, and then you never forget them when them emails got leaked and the stuff he had said about Peyton. But it happens.
So
wow,
yeah. So that is,
and now he's fired. As he should be.
So it's like
he's never had results
ever as a head coach, never. And then the whole fiasco with. Was it the Raiders not last year? Remember when he was going to go to a team? They had it all. Was it the Broncos? It was somewhere he was on the Patriots still as offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, we're going to, he was looking to get hired somewhere else. Dang near said and done, and he changed his mind the last second and went back to the Patriots.
I mean, that's probably the smarter decision. But it's messed up to jam them up because they can't hire who else they could have hired. But then if you don't want to be that person either who's like, I was the third choice. He's going to hire McDaniels again. Hasn't
Yeah.
he shown you he can't get it done?
Right. Yeah. That Patriot way, like they say
It's
Belichick has the worst
the Tom
coaching tree.
The Tom way. It's the Tom way.
Tom
It's
way.
not even the Patriot way.
The Brady way.
It's there you go, the Brady way. The first 3 years, great defensive players, Hall of Famers. It was a genuine team effort. But there's only been one consistent. Deion Branch and them, Troy Brown, Rodney Harrison, Junior Seau.
Many have come and gone.
Ernest Wilfork, Willie McGinnis. They've all come and gone. And in that entire 20-year span, that man was winning the entire time, no matter who was there.
One man.
Then obviously, right. Then you have the Matt Castle year where they go 11 and whatever, and people like, oh, is it really Tom? And then Matt Castle goes to Kansas City, and you find out, okay, maybe it was Tom. But then Bill's still there, so then you're like, I don't know. And then Tom goes to Tampa Bay and wins one, and then the Patriots are just slowly falling, and then all of these
turned to Bill Cosby when you said that.
Patriots coming down slowly falling. Yeah, but and so it's Tom. Then you hear all the players who have played with Tom. Mm-hmm. They say it's Tom, and in no disrespect to Bill Belichick, which is what they say, but they say no, it is like it's without question. Like they try to make it clear, like no, it's because of him. Like yes, Bill is cool, he's great, yeah, but it's Tom. Right. And so yeah, a lot of people have gotten some checks. There's been some coaches that have lived financially free and well, all based on Tom Brady. Yeah, they owe that man a couple dollars. They do, and some steak dinners. Well, I don't know if he's eating steak at this point, right? Water and quinoa, but yeah.
Speaking of steak, I'm about to start this carnivore diet. We'll talk about that more in a different episode.
Yeah,
I got another point, but that's I just so it's documented, so that I have to. Now we got to put this out, so that I have to start this carnivore diet.
You do, because the people are going to have questions.
They're going to have questions. So once it goes out, I got to say it.
So what are your goals in doing this diet?
So one, I kind of want to detox myself from carbs, so that my body
doesn't need them.
It does not need them.
It needs protein and fat and some other stuff.
Yeah, but it doesn't need carbs. It doesn't need sugar.
They are delicious.
Yeah. So what the other thing is like not just so I can not have carbs, but if I do decide to reintroduce carbs, my body isn't going to be relying on them. And I'll be introducing them for fitness purposes. I do feel like to keep your size, there are some carbs necessary, but I don't think my body would need as many to get the pump or the size that I need, based off the fact that it's operating at a certain point. I just got to, in my mind, be okay with losing some size doing this because it happens, but I hate it. I be looking like, that's my whole neck. Like,
as long as you work out.
My neck is starting to look dainty over here.
I think if you get enough protein, if you're working out 4 or 5 times, I don't think like this will be, because you look at it as a, we have been watching
the Arnold.
Yeah, the Arnold from over the weekend. We have been watching some of the clips. Those guys look bigger, anyway. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you cut down, you'll still have, you just make sure you keep the shoulders capped.
You gotta keep the lateral raises going.
You'll be fine.
Lateral raises, upright rows on every workout.
Arms will be there, chest will be there. You'll be fine.
I feel like I'll be a lot more solid.
Correct. I mean,
it's a super high protein diet.
If it's supposed to work, that's how it's got to happen.
Yeah. But that I didn't mean to get into that. That was just so y'all could
hold me accountable. In addition to myself.
Yeah, but the other point I was going to say about
sport,
not even necessarily take. Did you see Aaron Rodgers walking around? What kind of sorcery did he do?
I told you.
He's talking about some. Give me a few weeks. It's like, when you coming back? He said probably a few fortnights. He may be back if the Jets are in playoff contention.
That's a colossal lift.
I mean, they're 4-3 right now.
Give it time. give it time.
I mean, once again, Zach Wilson. This is a huge ask from Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
he just needs to be serviceable.
I told you, the man's in New York. The moment he went down, they were going through the Rolodex of the greatest surgeons this country has, not even this country, probably the world has ever seen.
They flew somebody in.
Whether if you was bringing dear Achilles, whomever, we need him back. And I don't think they were worried about timetable. That I don't think they were worried about. But we need him to be able to be as close as himself as he can be
when he does come back.
When he does come back, I don't think, and again, he is a world-class athlete, and with technology, because you remember he had like Alex Rodriguez and Kobe had went overseas to have, was that the Achilles for Kobe?
Achilles.
Yeah, so so now the knowledge is here. So what Kobe did, what they say, Kobe walked so Aaron can continue to throw. You know what I mean? So. But I told you it was going to happen because it's New York City, baby. They can't have the Giants play in New York,
but he's not a Giant.
No, but he is okay. But he is a Giant.
Technically,
he's not on the New York Giants.
Technically,
but the Giants play in New York.
Technically, they play in New Jersey.
Oh,
they play East Rutherford, New Jersey, is where the stadium
is. But the Giants play in New York, which is why I went to go see Chappelle in New York because he's a Giant, and so am I. The Giants play in New York,
but the New York Giants are really playing in the New.
Rutherford. New Jersey. Well, no, listen, right, but the Giants play in New York. Still all you understand what I'm saying?
If you want to get literal,
the New York Giants, yes, they play in Rutherford, East Rutherford, yes, but Giants play in New York. Snoop knew. That's why he came through and crushed the buildings. Anyway, I told you they was gonna get who they needed to get get him back on the big.
You did.
Just like how I told you, Devontae Adams should have had a meeting before all of this jumped off. When they got rid of his homeboy and had Garoppolo in there. And then they wouldn't have had McDaniels either wouldn't have had his job already and they wouldn't have lost $48 million firing everybody had this man.
$85 million.
I'm sorry,
because they're still paying John Gruden.
Yeah. All you I forgot all about that John Gruden situation. What was it, 100 million? It was 10 years?
Something
10 million
like
or something like that?
Something like that.
Wow.
It was, what's so messed up is he messed up all his opportunities that he had before he went back to coaching. Them emails, because when he was, he was on Monday Night Football, I got the Gruden grinder here, and, talking about the quarterbacks and everything. Can't even go back to that no more.
The emails will get you. Every time the emails will get you.
Every time.
Hillary, the emails will get you. No matter, they said when they went and ran in there on Trump, there was emails in the safe. The emails will get you. Always. But, I another sports take. What do you think about this young fella on the Titans, the quarterback?
Will Levis?
What do you think he's a gunslinger? Is that why he'll possibly be more successful? Well, this season he's already been more successful. But moving forward, because they have named him as the starter, because he does seem to sling that pill more than Tannehill.
Yeah.
Because they lost to Pittsburgh, but they have a good defense. So offense is what it is. But Pittsburgh's defense with the other
entire AFC North is in the playoffs right now
with the other Watt brother.
Did you realize
where do you see them going? I mean, it's early.
The entire is halfway through the season.
Early, 3 weeks.
I'm just saying.
3 weeks, and then they
just mathematically, the chances of all of them staying is not there because they all have to play each other at least one more time for the ones who haven't played.
Pittsburgh is out of there because of the quarterback.
Think Pittsburgh will make it over? Cleveland will make it over Pittsburgh?
Oh, I forgot about Cleveland.
Like, if 3 of them were to make it, Ravens and Bengals probably already
Ravens, Bengals for sure. I don't know what
the Steelers or the Browns.
Both have good defenses. I've seen more from Deshaun.
Since he's gotten back in the league?
No, I said I've seen more. I'm not. I said I've seen more.
I'm talking overall.
Potential. Deshaun has all the potential in the world. This other guy looks as bad as Deshaun looks now. So I'm going to defer to Deshaun because maybe, I don't know what he's dealing with. maybe he needs to see some type of therapist that can get him
Tell
back.
you,
Maybe
know
he
what
need
kind,
to
you
get
know
back
what
on the
kind of
massage
therapist he
table.
need to see.
He just
Get,
needs to get on
get one of them Houston hangovers is what they call them.
Look, he just needs to be in agreement with his next masseuse, and then get back on the field and do what he's supposed to do.
I heard you're not supposed to call him masseuse unless they're doing what he was getting.
His relief for hire, or whatever it is he needs to do. He needs to get back on the horn, and yeah, because he does not. Last week I had tried, and no, he does not seem like nowhere near the quarterback he was.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
And I don't know how you forget like to throw the football. I don't know. Is it coaching? Like I'm not sure. But he does not look like Houston Deshaun at
or not even a little bit.
Which is crazy to see somebody just take a turn like that. But maybe Amari Cooper is not.
No, I never thought DeAndre Hopkins. I never thought Amari Cooper was the guy that he was.
He never did ball in Dallas. He had that one game, and I said, "Oh, this is the connect." Out of there.
Yeah, he dropped the ball a lot.
Was it the next season or the season after? He wasn't in Dallas long.
No, he wasn't in there long.
They got him up out of there quick.
Okay, it ain't gonna work. But to answer your original question,
the young fella,
Will Levis, I do believe that he's at this point in time a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill. I think he's not afraid to throw the ball because it's like, shoot, I got to show y'all what I can do.
Is the black guy still there that they drafted a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. So last year. So if he at the bottom of the totem pole, you can't yank me.
Right. So this is like, for him,
he's Willie Beaver.
Yeah, it's like, what do you want to just hand it off to Derrick? Obviously, we can't hand the ball off to Derrick Henry a million times.
Because they know
But Tannehill refuses to throw the ball downfield. And so that's what I'm going to do. We got D-Hop. Just throw it up there.
It seemed to have worked.
And then they got another receiver. I can't remember his name. They got another receiver that once he got in the game, started doing numbers.
Okay.
So we will see.
Only time will tell. But your top five.
Top five.
Why don't we go quick honorable mention? Who would be 6 and 7?
Honorable mention, I would have Jacksonville number 6. You know why? Because I actually watched their last game. I'm like,
against who?
Nope. See, there you go. Because it was Jacksonville.
Exactly.
It was Jacksonville. I was just watching because football was on. I can't remember, but I'm like, they actually are playing solid football. Okay. And all they losses was beginning of the season, so
right before they left the country.
Yeah. And then I would probably just by default have to say Miami. By default, I would have to say Miami. I don't know if I necessarily want to at the moment, but I can't think of no other. Like when they offense is on, it's on. But for whatever reason, when they play against these good teams, their offense does not click like it usually does.
Oh yeah, and then around this point of the season, this will be where the second half or the other half, where if they do play a good team, they would run into them now.
Yeah.
In these next 8 or however many games.
Well, I mean, they got to play. They got to play the Jets.
That's a win, unless Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, it should be a win, but they're playing against a good defense. The only way, like at some point, they're gonna have to be able to flip the field. Ooh. Oh, that was the strongest yawn I've seen in my life.
You got to put that zoop right on your face.
Strongest yawn ever. Man. But no, they they play good defense. It's gonna be like at some point. If they play the Jets are gonna have to be able to manage field position. They should be. The defense is good enough to hold them. I would think the defense is good enough to hold them to however many points, as long as they can keep them in decent field position. But if the offense can't move the ball and then you punting and they starting close to friggin' the 40, 50-yard line, it's gonna be a hard time to keep them out the end zone. So they play the Jets. They play the Patriots. They play.
Oh wow.
Who else is? Who all is in that? Who all is in that division? So
They
Patriots.
They got an easy way home.
Patriots, Dolphins, Jets, and
the Bills. No.
The Bills.
Is it the Bills?
Yeah, because the Bills are in the same.
This is back when they were bad.
Yeah,
when they were bad, it didn't really matter. But now that the Bills aren't bad,
man, the Bills already beat them once. Bills. Just like a man. I got a phone in my pocket. I could Google it. I'm just like, no. I got to figure it out. Because the North, we already said the four in the North. The South got Jacksonville, Indianapolis, Houston, and
I think it is, because it was all the teams because they would always say the Patriots are going all the way again because of their division, and usually Miami was bad, the Jets were bad, and Buffalo was bad.
Yeah. That's why you need to eat and get proper rest so your brain can function.
Listen, here, that yawn, that was it for me. So thank you for always tuning in to another amazing episode of
Should Have Been Done This,
the podcast. I am Shaun Manning.
I'm Jason Jamerson.
Talk to you soon.